All right, folks, joining me now, Harold Hamm, Continental Resources founder and chairman, very old friend, one of the original great frackers and oil men in this country, in North Dakota and elsewhere. Harold, welcome back to the show. I know you were in the meeting on Friday with President Trump and the other oil men. So let me begin, make it easy. Can oil folks, oil entrepreneurs in the U.S., bail out Venezuela? Can you finance the new Venezuela? Will you all do it?
Well, certainly, Larry, and I'm glad to be on your show again. It's been a long time. Glad to be here. Certainly, oil is wealth, and that's what they need right now with the oppression that's gone on in Venezuela, with all the bad dictators and bad actors there that you was just talking about. Certainly, they need that wealth. They need oil. And, frankly, in the past, all of the oil flowed basically because of U.S. interest. And, that went away with nationalization. They came in, got greedy, and took it. And so we've seen what happened since then. It declined down to where it's at today, and not a lot of barrels are flowing out of there. Still a lot, but 800,000 plus barrels a day. But it could be 2 or 3 times that over some period of time. But the world needs to understand this is not your normal oil. This is what we call bitumen. It's tar. It's a heavy 9-degree oil. I mean, you walk on this stuff.
It's not like
so
crude.
It takes
it's not the good
like
crude.
It's not like crude.
Right.
It's
but we can refine it. We know how to do it. I mean, we've got refiners to do it.
You can do it, but it takes hydrotreaters. You actually have to change the molecular content. To make this thing usable. So these things are expensive and hard to operate, all those things. A lot of problems come with it. This stuff's not easy to move. It takes diluent and to move it.
Yes.
And so you have to mix lighter oil or distillate with this stuff just to move it through a pipeline. So it's very expensive, takes a lot of time, effort. So what we're looking at is a long-term situation. It's not something you just turn on or off and very quickly. So maybe it's too much information. Maybe that's not what you want to hear. But
no, it's listen, what you're saying.
That's the truth.
I wanted you because you're realistic. I use you as a barometer. You're a leading indicator. Look, we all heard the back and forth with Darren Woods of ExxonMobil, who I think, makes a good point. Look, it's not an investable environment yet. You need rule of law. You need sanctity of contracts. The assets have been possessed and repossessed several times. Chevron's still there. Maybe they can pick up some of those, get through $1.2 million, $1.3 million. But you're not rushing to do it, Harold Hamm. That's what I'm hearing. It's going to be a long-term play. And I want to ask you, because don't you need, look, if you come in, you're a great entrepreneur. You've proven that in North Dakota and the Bakken and elsewhere. But don't you need some assurances or reassurances that if you make a contract with the government of Venezuela, I'm not worried about the U.S., but the government of Venezuela, you have to have some rule of law, don't you? You have to have something to say they're not going to pick you off again, the way they did, during Chavez and so forth.
All those things you just mentioned is what you have to have. So absolutely, but that's, elevate the conversation. Really, the president is exactly right. We need to be thinking about this thing in a hemispherical sense. In the Western Hemisphere, no China, no Russia, kick those interests out, and so that's gone now in Venezuela. So that's a good thing. Cuba, same way there. None of us my age have forgot the Bay of Pigs invasion. We all know that. So thinking about Greenland and enter negotiations to acquire that and setting up, a situation, we can't ignore South America any longer. That's where all the drugs are produced and brought in here and that kill over people. We can't go along and not pay attention to that any longer. So we need to make sure that we're involved down there from a U.S. standpoint and set up a front line of defense there, if you will, against that. The president's done a great thing with the borders, sealing those. That's our primary defense. But front line is out there where these drugs are produced and overwhelm America with them.
Well, I call it I call it the arc of history, and he's turning the arc of history towards freedom. He's getting rid of the communists. You're right. China, Russia, Iran, Hezbollah was. A lot of Hezbollahs in Venezuela.
Yeah.
Go figure. But I guess since we agree on that, we agree on all of that, Harold. I guess my more basic question to you is, and you may be answering it already, it doesn't sound like you're rushing in to make investment, or are you? Are you going to, the president's saying we need something like $10 billion. I'm not sure the derivation of that number. Are you in for $1 billion? Are you in for $1.5 billion? What is Continental Resources going to do? What is Harold Hamm going to do in Venezuela?
Well, we have our own internal view on what it takes for us to enter a country or an environment like that that we take a look at. Certainly, Venezuela's going to take a lot of money. He's talked $100 billion that it's going to take collectively.
100 billion. Yeah,
100 billion to make a difference there, and I think those numbers are probably right. So it's going to take a lot of money. And I trust the president. I trust him to say that, we're going to make sure that it turns out okay down the road.
Well, if he can, how about this? If he, let's just, I got to get out, but Harold, if the president and U.S. government can absolutely guarantee, and they're going to make more changes in the government of Venezuela, okay? The Rodriguez's are not going to be there forever and so forth and so on. So we institute the rule of law, and we put back in that rule of law some kind of constitution where there is a sanctity of the contract, so that investors like yourself, whatever the medium, in your case it'd be oil, can be guaranteed a fair, free market, capitalist approach. Maybe that's what's got to happen here first.
Well, it is, and I can assure you that oil and gas people will come and work with them and to restore that over time.
Yep.
But it's going to take
it's going to take a bit.
to do it.
All right.
Yes.
Harold, thanks for coming on. I miss you. Look forward to visiting with you. Okay.